Next one is Buster Dover, who is Head of Digital at VCCP. He kindly stood in for one of my friends who didn't make it, so you now know who one of them is, or have a good idea who that is. And I think the next stage of this is obviously taking it on to look at it from a completely different perspective. And Buster's going to come up here and say, look at it from the perspective of a client owning the idea.
Thank you. I don't have any slides, so you're just going to have to look at my ugly mug. I could make this very brief. As we all know, the client's always right. So if I say I own the idea, that's it. I'll sit back down. But thought I'd start with a little philosophy. So bear with me for a little moment. I'm sure you all know of the saying, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it fall, does it make a sound? And in this case, I'd ask, if a creative idea never sees the light of day, is it worth owning? And it's the client who ensures that your creative ideas see the light of day, whether we like that or not. It's clients' brands, business, and most importantly, money that we create our ideas for and what allows our agencies to exist. And without any of this, ownership is meaningless. In the very worst situations with clients, it seems you have a situation of ownership with no responsibility. There's a great deal of discussion generally in the industry about brands and relinquishing control to their consumers and they relinquish their control from participation from their audience. But coming up with ideas that start conversations or movements rather than having monologues with our consumers is all very well, but it still requires clients to actually agree to relinquish that control that they have, unless they have that control. So if an idea doesn't fully extend far enough for the client, you'll also find that they will go beyond the agency that they've got. They might choose another specialist to help them with that idea. And because they own that idea, they can do one of two things. One, they can take your idea and ask a different agency working in a different media to work on it. Two, they can go to an agency with a different media and tell them that they want to work on an idea that someone else has come up with, leaving absolutely no doubt to any agency who actually owns the idea. Finally, and this is going to be the last argument for this one, because it's the one that I think stands up best in the court of law in front of a judge. As an industry, we've been phenomenally bad at retaining our intellectual property rights in negotiations with clients. Consequently, in virtually all contracts, the ownership of any idea is signed over to the client as soon as they paid for it. And I think in front of any judge, that would leave anybody with no doubt at all. And that's it from me.